everyone, Rascal here.
Welcome to our podcast.
Today we're covering Netflix's live-action adaptation of the Bleach Anime.
This movie condenses the agent of the Shinigami arc into a 2-hour film, with Ichigo becoming a substitute reaper for Rukia, then mostly takes the last 5 episodes of the arc and turns it into its own story.
Right.
So too bad we didn't understand that before we watched it.
Right. So before we get started, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get updates on future podcasts and World of Paws videos.
Yeah, in the beginning we kept going, why is this so different? That's not what happened. What the heck's going on? And then we remembered the title, and it said
the something arc. Yeah, we just said it. Yeah, and it showed up at the end of the movie, so it's like, oh, that's why it was all different.
So yeah, and we were reading in a book on the anime of Hayao
Miyazaki. Yeah.
Yes, that this is commonly done where there'll be totally different arcs and totally different stories that have nothing to do with the original work, and this is something that's commonly done in Japan. Here we don't see that, so for us it's a little odd, but this particular movie was of the same sort. It had nothing to do with the season 1 itself, which is odd that you had to watch it after season 1, but it had nothing to do with season 1.
Not really. The way they had in here, it was its own story. There were the cliffhanger. There was no cliffhanger. There was no something left undone, not finished yet to do a sequel movie. They pretty much took the first arc, changed what happened, and then made that the whole story. So it's like if the show ended after only 1 season.
Right. And if you haven't seen the end, then you're gonna go, what the hell, when it does end. But again, this has nothing to do with the series. So if you've never seen it and you decide to watch it, make sure you watch it as its own movie. And now you've been forewarned so that you don't have the sort of reaction we had. And we're probably now gonna just look for that for every one of the Bleach movies we watch. We'll just assume that we should just be open-minded and see what happens. Because we really were thinking it was going to just duplicate season 1, and it doesn't.
Right, because like we said, it ends the story after 1 season. Because in here, they actually removed a lot of characters, a lot like the Full Metal Alchemist movie. They took out a lot of characters in here, like they took out the guy that had the little, it was like a Pez candy thing that Ichigo took so that way they could switch bodies and become the Reaper. Right. Yeah, he's gone. They have the owner of the shop that had the pills, but the rest of his group is gone.
Saichi was there, but not the 2 kids.
Right, and the other people that worked with them, they're all gone. They really didn't show that many of Ichigo's friends. They had the one guy that was always saying stupid things. They had Chet, who didn't look like Chet.
Chet looked like a 15-year-old boy, unlike in the anime.
Now he is 15.
Which really kind of blew us. It was like, away, we're like, what?
Now he was 15, like, oh, now I can believe it. Because the anime's like, he's 15, like, you look 40. So I guess they said, oh, we'll make him 15 actually.
Right.
And they kept Orihime and her friend. They're in here.
But they're not the characters
they're not
you know
important.
from the anime.
They're not important,
But
really.
they're also not the characters you know from the anime. Orihime is nothing like she is in the series. You know, it's like a totally different character.
Right.
The same with her friend. The same with the Quincy.
Yes, the Quincy was in here, but his character was put in very quickly. They actually put in what happened at the end of, near the end of the arc, where these 2 other Soul Reapers were coming back for Rukia because she had broken one of the rules. So instead of leaving that to last, it's like after the first 20 minutes, like right after Ichigo becomes a Soul Reaper, they immediately bring that in. They immediately bring it in, and it goes up to Ichigo first. And then they have a guy that plays, what's the redhead guy's name? Hold on. Renji.
Oh, Soul Reaper.
Yeah, Renji. They just have Renji in here, and then we look at the person who's playing him, and if I'm not mistaken, the Soul Reaper is supposed to be pretty big in terms of stature and size and height. But when you get to the live action one, the guy that plays him is actually shorter than the guy playing Ichigo. So you have Ichigo being afraid of a guy that's even smaller than him. And it would have been different if that's how he was before. And they're saying, like, don't underestimate him because of his size, like Ed. But no, he
was by Ackerman.
Right. He wasn't small to begin with, and that was what was deadly. Is that he's a way smaller character, and so was Rukia's brother. That was so baffling. Like, wait a minute, we're running from this guy, and it's not even what he was originally.
Yeah, that was kind of odd. And another thing is how they decide to portray Ichigo. He's this really cool guy with this theme music,
right?
And all the girls want him. We're like, who in the heck is this?
Like, is this another character?
It was. It wasn't Ichigo. It was a totally different character. It's a totally different movie from the series. Now, we haven't read the manga, so if you guys have read the manga and this actually may be closer to the manga, forgive us. We haven't read it, but we kind of doubt it.
And we can't forget when Rukia shows up, there's a lot of things that happen really one after the other. All of the plot points that happen in the arc all happen at the same time, like one after the other. There's really no time for you to breathe and wait. It's just one thing after another. It's just Ichigo, he's beating up some bad guys because he's this cool kid, right. And then he goes home to his family, who's oddly different. And
yeah, the twin sisters are no longer fraternal twins; they're identical twins.
And they're like, what, 10? Like 10 years old. I was like, what? Who are these kids? Who are you? And they kept the dad, but he wasn't nearly as bonkers as he was in the show. He just kind of says some things. Now the mom is still gone in here, and weirdly enough they keep that in, and it's like the very first thing you see, like in Full Metal Alchemist. What happened with the mom is like the first event you see before the story even starts, so I guess it's set up for a later story, which they bring in another arc within the arc.
Right. And again, all of that together says that this is a totally different movie.
Right.
And again, as long as you go into that knowing this, then you probably will enjoy it immensely. But if you're going into it looking for it to be like season 1 of Bleach, it's not. And Sean recommended that we watch this after season 1. But to me, it looks like you could have watched it at any point you want, because it's not like the anime at all.
Yeah.
And then I think that Johnny Young Bosch is the one who did the English dub.
Yeah, and it's the same guy who does Ichigo in the anime, so he's the only one from the show that came back.
Right.
They did that Full Metal Alchemist where they have Vic and Caitlin Glass and Aaron Desmook. Yeah, the three main ones, they came back to do the English dub. So Ichigo came back to do that dub too. Mm-hmm. But that's about it. Everyone else was completely changed.
Right. So...
And you can't forget, there's also mentioned the Quincy's in here, the Quincy and the Hollows. Now the Hollows do look very accurate.
Yes.
Even if you don't care for some of these Netflix adaptations of the animes, they at least get the effects and designs right majority of the time.
Absolutely.
And the Hollows did look accurate. The only issue was that it was the same type of hollow every time. They cut out with Orihime's brother. It's just a random hollow. They got the Fisher. The Fisher looked like a spider, but it was plant-based, and they had an actual spider in one. It's like, what was this movie and the spider design? It seemed like that was the easiest to design.
Maybe.
Until the end of the movie, when they actually had their big climactic showdown. They turned the arc with what happened to the mother into a big showdown thing, which didn't really happen, I guess, until later for the show, because it turns into this thing where he's fighting this thing and doesn't find out till later. All of that build-up you got in the story behind why he's so guilt-ridden about what happened is completely wiped out. It's just like, oh, he did it. I'm going to go after him. What? You don't know him.
And the Quincy in the show, he makes an opening, and it allows a number of hollows to come through. And in this version, only one comes through.
Right. They just say, oh, a bunch of hollows came through. We gotta take care of them off screen.
Right.
They go fight them, but you never see this. You have to assume that there's a whole army of hollows all over the city. You just will never see it.
And so, in the movie, another thing is that the Soul Society really doesn't have a role to play in it, unlike it does in the anime.
Right. It is weird because we're seeing this big old city when they were showing, like, they were keeping Rukia's brother a secret. And they show that he was like in charge of this organization. It was really dark and mysterious. And they show the Soul Society, and it was this big city like it was Tokyo. But then you never go to it. They never go to it. It's never brought up again. It's completely it's completely pointless to even bring it up because they're not going there. There is no sequel.
Right. So, if you want something that you can watch just as a one-time thing that has nothing to do with anything else, then this is the movie for you.
Right.
And again, if you are not a watcher of Bleach, but you plan on watching it, I would say just watch this movie first, get it over with, see the version that the movie has, and then watch the series. And then you'll be able to see the big difference.
Right.
But you'll know that the movie doesn't have any bearing on your enjoyment of the anime.
Right.
And the anime really doesn't have a bearing on the movie at all.
Right.
As long as you understand that, then you're good to go.
Oh, there's one more thing we definitely got to mention, other than them taking out characters and in a burger place for them to eat at, which they didn't really have. They just kind of ate wherever. Well, they didn't have any spirits that he helped, pass on to the Soul Society. That never was in there.
He wasn't very active in this movie.
No, it was kind of weird. It's like everything happened at once for Ichigo. One thing that was really odd is that they kept playing up this thing like a ship tease between him and Rukia, and that was the majority of the relationship for this movie in particular.
And Rukia, in this movie, all she pretty much did was constantly train, which consisted of them hitting sticks together
and throwing tennis balls.
That was it. That's all that happened.
Right. The only thing they really kept was that she explained the stuff in really bad drawings, and he said, "You're a terrible artist." That's like the only thing they really kept. Right. Everything else is for some reason was taken as a ship tease. I don't know if that's what was taken as when people were first watching or what, because a majority of their scenes are just ship tease. It's not really a bearing on their character.
I think so, because Rukia and Ichigo seems to have been a really popular ship for season 1, and I think season 2 as well, because I've seen Phoenix write about it.
Yeah.
And so I think that was the ultimate ship that people were expecting.
Yeah, because when we watch it, like we said that Orihime and her friend, they're both completely different characters. Orihime's majority of her scenes are just focused on having a crush on Ichigo, and then they have these little cutaways. Because he's in a cutaway, he's posing like he's in a magazine because he's so cool, and we're laughing because it's like, he wasn't cool. He wasn't presented as cool to any of his friends. They always thought he was just a geek or something. He stuck out. Yeah,
said all the time.
But in here, it's constantly like trying to help her go out with him, and she's telling him how she likes him. She has a crush, and then when he's with Rukia, his main concern is that, oh gosh, they're gonna think we're a thing. And it's like, okay, you're supposed to be reaping souls, getting rid of these hollows. Why are these 4 main characters' main concern is that don't think this is a ship? It didn't really make a lot of sense because they didn't even know each other that long. They've known each other for like 2 to 3 days. You can't ship them that quickly. This isn't Disney.
Right.
Because even when it got to the end makes it where there's no more movies. He doesn't even win. They have literally the kind of sort of bad guys win.
Yeah. And the way that it ends also is unexpected. So, if you have seen this Bleach live action movie, let us know what you think in the comments below. And again, if you know more than we do about it, why it was done this way, if it was more based on the manga than the anime is, or whatever you would like to do to enlighten our experience after viewing it, please let us know in the comments below.
Right. And be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get updates of future podcasts and more pause videos.
Yes.
So, thank you so much for watching. I'm Rascal Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.
And the water sitting, flashing lights. Trying to walk around, man, who the hell are you? What you want to do? Well, man, it's on you. Man, it's on you. With her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Plucking sunlight from the sky in my pocket. Give it to you later on in the form of a locket.